There ain't nothing I can do, nothing I can say that folk won't criticize me. But I'm gonna do what I want to anyway. And I don't care what people say. If I should take a notion to jump on into the ocean, ain't nobody's business if I do. Well, I swear I won't call no copper if I'm beat up by my papa. Ain't nobody's business if I do. If my man ain't got no money, and I say take all of mine, honey, ain't nobody's business if I do. How y'all doing? Diving stronger. God before everything. Praise you, Laurie. How's everybody doing? Okay, I'm back. I said I was going to cover this thing with Terrell Hill. Now I'm kind of leaning in the other direction. Did y'all see part two? Part one was 20 minutes, something like that, 22 minutes. I don't know how long this one was, but towards the end of it, or 3/4 of the way through it, he starts with the Larry Reed story, right? Now my impression is a little bit different now. At first, it was presented as, Larry being the villain in the piece, but I don't know. It seems to me these are two guys that met each other around 23 years old, both in ministry. And it seems like Vincent was an extraordinarily sensitive person, right? He had not worked out his issues with his sexuality. He didn't know who he was, whatever. And he ran into Larry. And I don't know. From what he presented today, I don't see where Larry was doing all these horrible things. Now, he said he was controlled by Larry. He couldn't eat without Larry. He didn't know how to wash his own asshole out. All these things about Larry, but it seems like a lot of this was on you, Mr. Vincent Terrell Hill. Now, it even seemed you even described you having filthy sex, and you went on to say that you didn't know how to douche your own ass. Now, you are a grown man, right? We're not talking about a child here. And I don't know that it should be Larry's responsibility to teach you how to douche, right? But that's what you expressed. You said a lot of things were his fault, but it seems to me that if you were in this dysfunctional relationship and you felt like this person was controlling you, both spiritually and physically, and in your finances, it would have been up to you to leave. If I feel like someone's abusing me, then I leave. I don't continue to have sex with them for 13 years. So I don't know. People will have different opinions about this thing. They're making it public. So I don't feel that it's wrong that we try to unravel a lot of this. My impression is Vincent is a person who admittedly has a lot of mental health issues. He struggles with depression. He's been on Prozac and other mental health drugs, correct? And he bumped into Larry Reed. Now he fell in love with Larry Reed. And I'm not sure exactly why he's so disgruntled, but a man shouldn't have to tell you when to eat. Surely you were making enough money to go buy you a hamburger, honey. He said that Larry, baby, I'm struggling here. Where you at? Oh, right here. You be quiet. He seems to be blaming a lot of this stuff on Larry, where they were both 22, 23-year-old men. And if they were having consensual sex, I don't see that Vincent was a victim, right? I'm not sure how he's classifying himself as a victim. He even intimated that Larry would tell him how to go to when to go to the bathroom. Huh? You're a grown man, right? Now he said even in the beginning, he saw Larry as some kind of spiritual leader. Well, you shouldn't be fucking your pastor in the first place, right? So a lot of this stuff is not, I don't think, Larry Reed's fault. I tried to be impartial here, but you know, we're all partial to somebody or whatever. But as this thing unravels, unless there's more to be said about their relationship, I don't know that it was abusive. And I don't think you should depend on somebody else to show you how to. If you see shit on the dick that tells you that you need to know how to clean your ass, Google it. How y'all doing? What's going on, Nikki B? I'm just grateful that he did not even that he didn't run into a cult of any kind, because he seemed extremely vulnerable to being led around by his nose. This is, I don't think it's totally Larry's fault, or him being, as Larry described it yesterday, him always being an open mouth and open ass. That's what, these are his words, not mine. Right? If you want to be a puppy dog, or if you want to follow people around and you want to do whatever they say, he says that to keep the main thing being Larry Reed. When I encountered them initially, they were on a show together. He seemed to have personalities to be able to talk, correct? But it took him a lot of years to actually break off from Larry Reed. Now, I'm not sure exactly who broke this off. They did say who broke this off, right? But it shouldn't took you that long to break it off, right? And he spent his whole youth following behind Larry Reed. So this is abusive religion, because he's tying all this religious stuff to this physical relationship. I don't know. He was 35 years old. That's crazy. He was 35 years old still with the man. And then when they broke up, I mean, very soon after that, his life fell apart, right? You were too dependent on Larry Reed. You can't blame nobody. If I want to be a Beyonce fan and I want to somehow or other get a job with Beyonce, and I'll start living my whole life under Beyonce, and I hang on every word coming from Beyonce, honey, how am I going to blame Beyonce? I'm the one that's a groupie. And it sounds a little bit like you were his groupie, right? As far as the sex thing, you had desires as well. You both were freaky because you were young men. Why wouldn't you be? That was the agreement. I would assume that if the agreement went on for 13 years, honey, nobody was miserable about it. If you were miserable about it, why would you do it? He mixes a lot of stuff. I think Vincent needs a lot more psychiatry. You need to be talking to therapists and not to YouTube, right? Because a clean break from Larry Reed would mean he's no longer mentioning your name and you're not mentioning his. It seems like he has gone out of his way to wash you from his life, because when I went to get a thumbnail, I couldn't find a decent thumbnail of you two together, and I couldn't find anything on you. And then I went to Larry Reed's page, and he got pictures with everybody, including many content creators, but there's only 2 pictures of you. And you were together all those years, and you did a show together, and you did ministry together, right? So I don't know what it's going to take. Vincent, I'm not trying to dog you out or anything like that, but you have a lot of issues. Now, you're still explaining that your mother was abusive, right? Your mother is alive right now. It sort of feels like maybe this is something you need to work out with your mama, as opposed to making it public, right? So, because they're all church people. So when your mama goes to church, now she has to deal with people judging her based on the fact that her son is online saying that she is an abusive mother. I don't doubt that you probably was. A lot of this stuff that went on back in the day with Black people was abusive. I could understand that. But you seem to be harping on that. And there's a lot of blaming other people in this video, right? What y'all think? If I should let it sing the blues, She got him back. She feels so sad. Wants the world. Who was I listening to today? Somebody was talking. I think it was Pam Esquire. She don't like her name used, but she said something interesting to me, that Vincent can do a lot of good things with graphics. He's the one that set up Larry Reed show. He's also the one who set up Maddie's show, Queen's Court, and he's worked for other people. It seems like his focus should be on doing what he does best. If he can create videos for people, if he can edit videos well, and he can do all of it, because his channel, it looks pretty clean to me, in my opinion. The thumbnails are great. You know, the backgrounds are great. He's doing this in a simple, plain background kind of thing. But people will pay for that service instead of the murmuring and complaining. Right now, I know I sound totally different than I sounded yesterday, but he explained a little bit more here, and I'm trying to find out where this boy is abusive. You're living in his house. You're running behind him like a puppy dog, right? You're having consensual sex. I guess he's paying you. We know he paid you several $1,000s. Was it $90,000 for your services, kind of thing? So I don't know why you're still angry with him. We don't know the details, but I'd rather you get down to the details. What's wrong right now? Mm-hmm. How can it be helped? How can it be resolved? Other than just simply using this guy's image as clickbait. Mm-hmm. It starts off slow, people. So I was pretty much bored watching it, and then he didn't get to Larry, I think 3/4 through, when he said that talking about their dirty sex and how they never douche, never wore condoms, and what did he call it? Nasty something. But you don't say nasty for 13 years. I would think that would be a lesson that you would learn in the first week. First time for most people, right? So are you saying that you guys like that? I think they call that raunch. You like raunchy sex, but doesn't it stink? I don't know. I'm just going by what I heard today. So he was 35 years old. He was still doing the same thing. He was still following around by Larry was in charge of everything. So if you put that man in charge of everything, honey, don't be surprised if he tells you to do things, right? Open hole, you said. Nothing you hear every day. Douche your own child. I can't imagine something like that, and you ain't learned that in 13 years, honey. Sounds like somebody liked it. That's what caught my attention too. Is I see I already got comments about the douche bottle. I mean, most people don't talk about something like that publicly, but that sounds pretty nasty. Wouldn't he object to that after 13? I mean, after the first couple of weeks, man, go to the bathroom, right? Straight people, y'all don't know all the stuff we have to go through, but there are certain things there for preparation you have to do before you have sex, and that's an essential thing. He seems to be blaming Larry Reed for even that. He blames Larry Reed for him not eating. He says that everybody else is going to eat, and I have to stay home and eat his leftovers. Well, nobody's forcing you to eat leftovers. I mean, was he putting you in a ball and chain, or was he leading you around with a whip? You don't have to eat his leftovers. Shouldn't you be responsible for your own food? You're a grown man. I'm sure there was some name calling here, so I'm sure he feels like he's still exposing Larry Reed, but this wasn't it, Terrell. This ain't it, baby. You lost a little traction, at least with me. Let me see. You see, he does all his graphic stuff well. You got to use your strong suits, brother.
Was never a fan of Lisa. That was the public opinion and public discourse about. It's like if there was any.
See, even down to this constant you want to apologize to Lisa, you want to, if she ever wants to apologize, you can just call her up and apologize to her if you feel like that. You know you were screwing a married man. Now, the side piece shouldn't be complaining about how the husband treats the wife, correct? Because you continue to do it. You did it in their house under their nose, and you're blaming Larry Reed because you are fucking a married man, honey. Right? I'm just saying, take responsibility for your own actions. You are an extraordinarily sensitive person, and I guess you feel like you're a victim. Mm-hmm. No, not the poop play, honey. We got to find that child. Y'all already. That's what got my attention. I was almost asleep, honey. Wait a minute.
Bishop Jones was. They were taking me back and forth for my third shift job. They were like, "Well, you don't need to work no more because by force or manipulation." Let me tell you this.
This section is called sexual abuse.
Or you get wet. Don't mean you're not being abused. Abuse occurs when you lose any part of your autonomy, not your sexual gratification. It's not about sexual gratification. It's about autonomy. What happens when I choose not to do it? If there is an ounce of...
Vincent, you admire this man. You're following behind this man. You've given up your own ministry for this man. You are obsessed with Larry Reed, right? And so I would imagine you have taken pleasure from having sex with him, since you are basically, it seems like you're in a cult with him, or you've given him this status. I don't believe that he was abusing you because he was having sex with you. You were basically the same age, free men having sex. So you're saying, what about when I don't want to do it? What about when I don't want to do it? But don't do it, nigga. I'm just saying, shit. It seems mental to me.
Disruption. Mm-hmm. When you choose to speak up, then you need to check your autonomy and see if you're in an abusive situation. Mm-hmm. Some of you literally having sex with your pastor right now, and you're enjoying it, and you think you're the side piece or the boyfriend or the girlfriend, and you don't even know you're an abuse victim. Apologizing to Lisa, and which is Larry Reed's ex-wife, and then like pausing after, like the dramatic pause. Bullshit. You are not sorry. You're not. You're sorry about, like you said, the woman was going around taking his phones, all of that stuff, because she knew he was cheating, but he kept making her feel like she was crazy. You knew she wasn't crazy. You knew she wasn't. You knew something was going on. So it's literally like stealing somebody's money or stealing something that belongs to somebody and watching them look for it. Knowing you got it the whole time. Knowing you got it. You're even helping them look for it. You know, type of situation. Like, now,
I don't know why he chose to show this man in his video. I don't understand that quite, because the man is obviously chastising him. I want to get to the part about this stinking asshole. Okay.
That was a hell of a betrayal for you to try to like sleep over, and it wasn't until 2023 where I realized after coming on my code because and that we turned them into wives. That's what I'm. Yeah, but that's even powerful. Oh, listen, I didn't realize this until Vincent was going to leave. Lisa was expendable. Lisa was expendable. Yeah. So it wasn't like it was just, you know, the pastor and his secret lover plotting against the wife. Again, if anybody tells the truth, they will tell you she was the second-class citizen of the breakthrough experience, personal and professional, public
and sir, were you? If you felt so much about Lisa, you were so concerned about her and her marriage, you saw her getting her heart broken by this cheating man, why were you in her house fucking her husband? How could you face this woman on a daily basis and then go and have sex with her husband and then complain about how she's being dogged out? You're the one who's dogging her out. When you're fucking her husband, you are the other woman or other man or whatever it is, and yet you can sit right around her and her children. Correct? I'm just saying, anybody saying that Larry Reed is an angel, and I seem to be just seeing his side of this thing. Now, I just think that you were a person in need of I don't know, of a psychiatry of some sort. So many things were unresolved with you, correct? And just this continual attack on your mother. We've established that your mother was abusive, but how does she feel about this thing? Right? You've had her on your channel, so you must have some kind of relationship with her. I don't know. I'm so confused at this point. We'll listen to just a little bit more taste. He breaks this down in little segments. So this segment is only like, I think, 5 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes, 7 minutes.
And it wasn't until 2023 where I realized, after coming out, after denying the money, after denying coming back, after denying the
he fired you,
that it hit me one day. I never forget, a former friend was in the kitchen, and I'm standing against the cabinet, and I'm telling my story. I said, Lisa, I owe Lisa an apology.
You do. You should have known that.
And I said, and Lisa, if you're watching this, I still owe you an apology. You're probably one of the few people that can call me and I'll answer the phone. I owe you to this day a face-to-face apology. Mm-hmm. And whenever you're ready, I don't care if it's 10 years from now, 20 years from now, I'm going to still owe you that.
No, nigga. You set up into her house and fucked that man for 13 years, yeah. And now you want to give her an apology? I'm sure she would say, well, take that apology and stick it up your asshole. The fuck is this? You already did it. Now he fired you. He threw you out. Go now, go. He threw you out. Right? And now you have remorse? Come on, Bessie. This is not helping you. Maybe you have to rethink this part 3 and 4, honey. If this is the direction, it is not making you look good. It's making you look like you need to be back on Prozac. So he says he was so stressed out by being in the house of Larry Reed that he had to be on Prozac. When he left the house of Larry Reed, he could get off the Prozac. So when he went back in 21, why are you going back? You could get back on the Prozac, correct? You're not giving this man any credit for the fact that he paid for all your food, all your housing, all your clothing, everything about your life. You said that every expense you had, you would give the bill to him, right? You gave this man way too much power. You were 22, 23 years old. You should have been out there living your life, but you were so tied into this religious mumbo jumbo that you actually attached yourself. You're fortunate that you didn't run into a David Koresh or somebody who would really taken advantage of that. And I don't mean sexual in the sexual way, but you are a follower, right? Now it's taking you to your 35 years old. So now I think he's in his 40s. Stop. And so now you're dependent on this man. You're still leaning on Larry Reed, even though you left for many years. You're still depending on him. This is how you're going to feed yourself. And only way you're going to feed yourself is by using the name of Larry Reed. I don't think it does you any favors. I call them homewrecker, living up in the woman's house. And you want to apologize there? I owe you a face-to-face apology. I'm done now. Because you don't want me no more. Shit. You call her, baby, please don't do that. Don't do that, okay? I hear them. It's okay. There are people in the hallway. It's kind of real rank. You owe her more than an apology. There's something going to be up in that woman. Did you ruin her marriage? But she's still with him. Right? All of y'all are just too dependent on Larry Reed, I think. I think you need to get out there. I mean, she's gone on to her own relationships and stuff like that. But get out there and live your own life. Build your own name, honey. And try to build it without Larry Reed. If you want to break, a clean break, right? Like it never even happened. Mm-hmm. Or you're going to still be stuck. And you're going to find it very hard to be in love. You said, Terrell Hill, yesterday or the day before, that you thought you were in a relationship now. but the other person don't know he's in love. So I see a pattern here. This is the same situation you had with Larry Reed, and you drug around behind him for years and years and years. So now are you starting another relationship with a person who is not in love with you? Why are you putting yourself through all this pain, man? Find somebody who loves you for you, right? And have a real relationship. If this is, you consider this abusive after you leave it, don't go right back into the same thing. You say this man don't know he's in love yet. I'm gonna make you love me. Ooh, honey, yes. My love is strong, you see. I know you'll never get enough of me. Yes, they do, baby. They do, right? So you're not broken free yet, Vincent Terrell Hill. So what I'm taking from your video today is you need to get back to a therapist. I don't know if it takes medication at this point. I mean, I've been through things myself. I was in therapy for 5 years, correct? I even tried a psych med for a little bit. Didn't work for me. But you got to do what you got to do, man. So you get yourself into your first little AdSense checks. Go and get yourself some therapy. Sit down with somebody and talk some of this bullshit out so that you can really be free. When you're really free, you'll be doing your own thing. You will not need the name of Larry Reed. Right? Nothing like it, honey. Self-made man. Right? Don't be a follower. Be a leader. Timeline tagging when you are watching a video. So when you do a video on it, I got a timeline. Oh, thank you, Goonies. Oh, is that more advice? Oh, thank you. So I ain't got to look for stuff. It works. Go directly to the part. Yeah, I do that occasionally. Sometimes I really don't give a shit. But for somebody to be on here talking about how they giving shitty deals for years, 13 years, honey, I thought that was significant. Y'all find it yourself. He speaks in a monotone kind of narrative. I still suggest, let's follow and see where this thing. It's just a story, honey. Like that's like you read a magazine article or a book or whatever, somebody's story. So I don't mind following it and seeing where it leads to. But this was a wrong turn. As far as you describing an abuser, particularly when we sitting up here watching this video with P. Diddy and his girl Cassie, right? You talking about you're abused because you didn't get the sandwich and they all had a sandwich and you didn't have one. So he brought you back his leftovers. Well, the proper response is thank you. If you don't want to go out and get your own food, I would think I want to feed myself in my 20s and 30s. We're different kind of people. I guess Larry Reed at one point wanted to get him his own bathroom or something. He was complaining about it. You actually depend on somebody else, child. You can't go to the bathroom. Something they were talking about the bathroom, so he gonna let him use a different bathroom and all this. You shouldn't be asking people about going to take a dump, and you should be doing that dumpy stuff with a douche when you're preparing yourself to have anal intercourse. I've never heard no shit like that before. Why are you telling that part? Is this just to be salacious? Because many people in the chat here have picked up on the same thing. You said, what? Oh, Lord, honey. Vincent and Conscious TV are one and the same. I didn't make that connection, but yeah, they're both followers. I mean, Conscious, he seems to be pretty independent in most of his life, but when it comes to Larry Reed, yeah, he's definitely a follower of his. We don't know what the financial situation is, though. Some of these things are because they're dependent on him for blessings. Correct. When Larry Reed, a couple years ago, when he would come to my page, he would always give me like $100. I wasn't even talking to him or anything. So I know he's a generous person, and he tends to give money to people who he fucks with. So that might be the situation with Conscious TV. The rumor was that he had bought him an expensive car at one point. So we don't know. That might be a professional relationship. You are my voice online. Although he seems to be moving toward other people other than Conscious TV on here. Mm-hmm. Y'all gonna watch it? Might as well. You can spend this one. It really is an hour though. This was 56 minutes. The first part, I think, was just more background leading up to. But now we're into the him and Larry saga, that part. So we'll see. More people right now are talking about the situation with Cassie and Diddy. So I don't know if they're going to make several videos. We'll see. Probably the last one will be the most interesting. Uncle Tim, we are all happy that you're seeing a psychiatrist help you, especially when getting on the train, trolley, and bus, and the anxiety it will bring. Mm-hmm. No, I went to therapy because I didn't believe in AA. In my 20s, I think at 25, I first went. I got sober in AA. Even at 23, I'm 25. I was already drinking out of control and all that. But I kept relapsing. And eventually I relapsed and ended up on crystal meth. So I didn't have a lot of confidence that was going to work for me. I didn't have the strength. I said, I don't want to get back in 12-step because I kept relapsing. So when I got out of prison the last time, went to program, I want to see a therapist. And I'm not going to use AA. I committed with myself that even though nobody was telling me that, and most people were saying you got to go 12-step, 12-step. So instead of 12-step, I got a drug counselor and I got a therapist. This agency that I was using would allow me to have 16 weeks of therapy. So I did that for 5 years. And it's just somebody to talk to. I mean, sometimes it's overrated. Mostly the therapist wants to know what's going on with you right now, just to talk things out, right? So it can be very helpful when the focus is on you and your issues. So, yeah, like I keep telling you, Goonies, I'm not embarrassed by anything, honey. Therapy doesn't embarrass me. If I get into issues, if I meet one of you motherfuckers, I might got to get back into therapy. Fall in love again. I got to need some therapy, honey. But it helped me immensely, and I built my confidence. Where now I don't need to go to 12-step meetings. I haven't been to a meeting in years. When I left program, I said, well, I'll do it. I'll get a commitment and I'll do it for 1 year. But at the end of that year, I was actually hiding in the bathroom until the meeting was over. It was not working for me. I had dismissed it in my mind. And I just went to church. Church, they don't talk about drugs, but I understood I needed community. I needed to be a part of people who celebrated me. Right? So I got involved in my church, and that was it. I did therapy because I could, you know. He seems to be still very broken, in my opinion. For someone who's given all of this advice about, you know, the way he does his videos, like he's still a hurt person, a very hurt person. And he's a follower, or he needs to find somebody else to follow. If that's who you are, follow him. Find somebody don't involve the sex part at all, and just work in their ministry. I mean, maybe he was right. Maybe he did get abused in some kind of way, but today's testimony, that was not it. She was in the street light. She said she painted people. Ooh, don't get nasty, Goonies. She told us a long time ago how you would get agitated with the bus train. Oh, I would cuss out the bus drivers. When I first got clean, I cussed out everybody. I was used to having my way because I used to be a drug dealer, right? And so I still had all that street shit on me when I first got clean. what I learned was just don't talk to the damn bus driver, child. There's no reason to say anything to him. And here in San Francisco, you get on the back of the bus, you don't even got to see him. So yeah, I was sensitive in the very beginning. I was coming from the streets. Mm-hmm. Did therapy work? Yeah, but therapy was just somebody to talk to. Get my thoughts out. Now I'm not a therapist now, but I facilitate a therapy group. It's a group of my peers, right? So yeah, it's very beneficial. Same agency. I've been in the agency for 20 years. Mm-hmm. If I get into problems, I mean, or stress, or feel like I'm getting depressed or anything like that, I ain't got no problem with it if I can get it. You can understand why he still might be hurt. He spent 13 years with the liar. Yeah, but don't waste the rest of the years, baby. It ain't that many left. Let that bullshit go, honey. I think you need to let it go. Let it go, baby. Let it go. Larry, let it go. Hell, he ain't thinking about you. Mm-mm. Don't let that consume you. You can't fall in love with somebody else if you're still holding on to the past. So my recommendation for you, Vincent Terrell Hill, is to go and get Juanita Bynum's groundbreaking sermon, No More Sheets. Because she talks about you can't get involved with nobody because you're not ready, right? You're wasting your best years worrying about something that happened years and years ago when you were 22, 23 years old, honey. Let it go. No more sheets. And she just started taking off the sheets. It made her a star in the Christian world. Let it go, baby. She said, eventually I'll walk by him. Don't feel nothing. Y'all see that? It's available now on YouTube. No more sheets. That boy is a sheet on you, wrapped around you, honey. And this guy you're seeing now, if he's not into you, let that go as well. Trust me, I'm a person who is in their 60s. I live alone and I'll probably die alone. Correct? These are those years when you're still attractive, you know, you still have your energy of your youth and whatever. Don't waste that on people who don't give a fuck about you. You're just a booty call. Stop being a booty call, honey. Go out there, go to the club, meet some people. Find some organizations you can get in. And maybe you should get away from the church. It seems like that church has warped you in some ways, right? Because when you start out, Vincent, all you talk about is the church, relationship to the church in your house, church in the church with Larry, church, all the church stuff. It didn't seem to have helped you. It seems to have harmed you. Who was who was sleeping with everything that moved? That was Larry Reed. Baby, Larry Reed was having himself a ball. And I guess he should thank Vincent because he's the one that brought him out. He would have to keep hiding. I guess he ain't got to hide no more. Just the word is out. The word is out. Mm-hmm. Vincent is just off. Okay. I agree. He exposed himself today. He should have kept that one to himself. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Pete Gooney said, did it help you at work? Well, I think the best thing I got out of therapy is it taught me what my triggers were. My triggers. That was essential. What's going to set you off? What's going to get you back on the street? So yeah, I would say I would give them credit for that. It came out of my mouth, but it's because I had the opportunity to speak it out of myself, right? It's not too late for you, Tim. Go find you a man. You have a wonderful spirit. Okay, thank you, Nick. What Nikki B being nice for? Oh my God. Y'all hear Nikki B being nice? He ain't criticizing me. He said, go out there and find you a piece. Get you one. My lover was 7 years older than me, so he'd be 73. He'd be 73 now, right? But my little straight boy Fred, he was 12 years younger than me. I don't know. Well, gay people, we're kind of obsessed with youth. But at this point, it's more about relationship than it is about sex and humping on each other and all that stuff. So I think I would have to have somebody in my own age group. But I'm just lazy about that kind of stuff. I signed up for, what do you call it? The relationship place. I forget what it's called. And it's not nasty. It's not a hookup site. I forget what it's called. eHarmony. eHarmony. I signed up for that and I met this guy and I felt like I was being quizzed, right? To see if I was the right one. I did it one time and I was through with eHarmony. I just don't want to be bothered no more. It'd be nice to meet somebody, but can't make it happen. You could if you were really determined. You're gonna have to realize that you're gonna get your heart broken and all that kind of stuff. And people are not really out there looking for people in my age group. Most of us done simmered the fuck down. He's still saying that, Nicola? Uncle Tim, what's your opinion on Larry still saying he isn't gay? Jay Wilson said it episode recently. Girl, I don't know. My boyfriend, what I wrote about in the Meth Monster, he never did consider himself gay. He didn't go to gay bars. He was not attracted to a lot of different guys. He was attracted to me, I mean, intellectually or physically, and he certainly had sex with men. At one point, he even sold sex to men, but he never considered himself to be gay. His primary interest was in women, but he didn't realize he was having. I said, well, when's the last time you had sex with a woman? It had been a couple years. These men, I think if Larry is still saying that, he needs to let that go, or it's going to keep being an issue, right? Yeah, I've heard him kind of telling William McRae, he ain't got to answer that. He like we all looking at William McRae. He is gay, and even when, but that's one thing Buddha did do when he did his expose. He did drop a load on that day. That was the talk of the town for at least a week or two. Mm-hmm. And they started when they were 22, 23 years old. So he's been having sex with a lot of people. It seems like Larry Reed has sex with everybody around him. When he has people who he cares about, even down to his friends, he wants to have sex with them. So that's the impression we're getting. But on this particular day, I don't see Larry Reed as being a predator or abusive to this boy. Now, of course, the power dynamic was there. You're dependent on another man for everything. You should not have put yourself in that position. If you want to work on a job, just go do your work and leave. When you leave the job, your life is your own to do what you want to do, right? But as long as you're living with him and working with him, depending on him to pay for your food and all this kind of stuff, child, of course it's going to end badly, right? You want to get a job, just go and do your job. And then you have your other interests outside of that job, honey. Don't move in with him. So I think in a way, I think he wasted his youth. 23 to 33 plus 3, 23 to 36 years old. You've been sniffing after this man, chasing after this dude, trying to please this man. You've missed your whole youth. What's going on, Tracy? Well, I believe more people will come out exposed than Larry. There are definitely more there. He has what you call a healthy sexual desire. Right. And so Vincent stood up under that, knowing that he's in the other room humping somebody else. Go in the other room. He just go, No, it's never been me, honey. I didn't even want a sugar daddy. When I first got to Hollywood, I was cute, honey. Everybody cute. I was 19, 20 years old. I had several opportunities to be kept. My designer guy did get me an apartment, but I couldn't be up under nobody like that. I don't want to be nobody to be the boss over me and nothing like that. Many times people they're suffering under that. You might see them driving around in Mercedes Benz. It ain't in their name, But I passed up any opportunity like that. I had no desire to have nobody over me. People are different, though. Tracy Hambone says, stop following me. He's the top. He ain't gay. Two men in the bed, honey. One gay and one not. If you're attracted to men and you're having sex with men, then you're a gay. You're at least bisexual. If you're bisexual, well, all that means is you're capable of being with either male or female. You know, you're attracted to both, right? But I don't know how you can be straight. Now, most hustlers, there'll be male prostitutes, a whole lot of them will tell you that they're straight, even though they're selling their body to gay men. Some of them even work as go-go dancers in gay clubs, and they'll tell you they're straight. It's just entertainment for them, right? It only hurts the first time, honey. The first cut is the deepest. Baby, you know, the first time is the hardest. They can do it. Mm-hmm. They can do all of it, top, bottom, sideways, everything else, child. But if they want to feel like they're straight, people in prison, men have sex in prison all the time. They don't consider themselves gay. You know. Nikki B, they playing with y'all, honey. St. James nor Nikki B believe that tops are not gay, right? Now, there's some gays so twisted in their brain, they want to believe that the man is straight. That is a fantasy of theirs or a fetish of theirs, right? You would go to many of them and say, oh, I don't mess with no punks. I don't mess with them sissies. I don't want no punk. Oh, I want me a real man and all that old silly shit, child. And they'll be together, and the guy will still be saying he's straight, and then the queen or the gay boy will agree with him. He's straight. He ain't gay. I don't mess with no gays. So they consider two gay men together that y'all bulldaggers. No offense to anybody, but that's what they call them. There's all kinds of ways to be, honey. Sex is mostly in the brain. So you're better off with somebody who can actually love you, in my opinion, if you're looking for a relationship. If somebody's still saying they're straight, you don't have a real relationship with them. Right? You can fantasize that he's straight. You can fantasize anything. Mm-hmm. People have all kind of shit going in their mind when they have sex. Mm-hmm. It hurts every time for you. What hurts? Well, what I meant to say, Tracy, was these guys who sell themselves to as hustlers and all that kind of stuff. It may be very difficult at the first time you do it, second time you do it, but then it's just something to do, honey. As long as you can get it up, you can do it. A lot of men, believe me, I know, honey. I may look like a saint right now. What did it say? What's my shirt say? No, this ain't the one I thought it was. What is that? Memory waves? I don't know what that fuck. I don't even know where I got this shirt from. Anyway, memory waves. Anyway, don't think they are. Yeah, a lot of them guys out there on the street, they don't even want you if you say you're gay. They want them a straight man. They got all kinds. They got homo thugs, gay boys who like to dress like they're thugs with sagging pants and all that stuff, do-rags and all that kind of shit. That's what people like, honey. Everybody likes something. Gay for pay. Mm-hmm. Gay for pay is plentiful, particularly among drug addicts. They'll do anything. Don't ask me how I know. And it ain't because the Bible told me so. Tracy, are you in love again? It's okay to be dating, honey, sampling some. Mm-hmm. You know when it's real. No, I'm in lust. Oh, Tracy's in lust, gentlemen. What about Goonies? Will he work? I don't know. Tracy. Tracy, what about Goonies? He sound lonely. Yeah, why can't a woman be in lust? She can be in lust just like men can be in lust, honey. I wish I could be. I went and got a prescription for Viagra, right? I took one pill out there, tested out, Jeff. It's still sitting there. It'll be sitting there 5 years from now, John. I don't think that makes you lustful. It don't change. They just give you the physical. I ain't got no problem with all that. But sometimes somebody come along, honey. Someday he'll come along, the man I love, and he'll be big and strong, the man I love. Did it work? Oh, I didn't need it. I don't have no problem getting an erection, honey. My TV is my boyfriend, so I don't need it for that. I think I got it because the last time I tried to do something, it didn't work. I don't know. I ain't hurting because of it. That's for damn sure. Just enjoy your family and it's natural. At some point, it's just not that. It ain't like being 20. I wish I could be 20 again, honey. Woo. 20 to about 35. That was fabulous years, honey. Y'all got any more thoughts? What else going on? Say, James, you got mad because Jay Wilson said you was gay. Baby, everybody is just who the hell they are. Whatever they want to do. They want to come out at 90 years old. It's fine with me. Everybody except for Jay Wilson. He just offends me. Anyway, people. So Vincent done released this part 2. If you want to hear about the Larry Reid situation or about him being a grown man, skip 3/4 of the way through, and you'll get more of when they got together. Okay. Thank y'all for coming in on today. Also, the biggest story out there, I'm sure if y'all watching YouTube, is this video that Puff Daddy wanted to keep silent, so silent that he paid $30 million to the woman to keep it silent. Now she done got her $30 million, and the damn video is still out. And I don't think it's the only one. He has been known to film everything. So I believe that's why they raided his house. I believe that's why they brought a ladder with them. Somebody has told them where these videos were stored, and they carried boxes out of his mansions. So we'll see. All right. Thank y'all for coming in. Talk to you later.